Live from the City of Angels. It's time for MMT Gets Freaky. We haven't done one in a long time, so I figured tonight is an opportune time to discuss what could blow your mind. When we review movies, it's one thing, right? You know, listen, take it or leave it. What we're talking about tonight, however, the possibility that Leviathan lives. Now that is a headline. Anyone want to tell me what music's in the background? Of course I had to have some cinematic element. I love this score. It's way too good for the film. It is from It Follows. I'm going to leave it up in the background because I think it's perfect what we're talking about tonight. Welcome in. Think of this as Coast to Coast AM whenever I do one of these. You ever listen to that show on late at night, AM radio, George Norrie, who took over for Art Bell? And they talk about weird stuff. Well, I'm not just going to talk about weird stuff. I'm going to show you weird stuff. Because that's what we do here. MMT Gets Freaky. Let's show you what we're talking about tonight. And you can see on the screen we have Google Earth. And I am at the southern tip of Argentina. In Antarctica. And I'm going to zoom in for you. Those of you who've already seen this, you know, it's all good. There's people out there who haven't. My job's to educate as well as horrify. So this, which I think we can all agree, is what you see on Google Earth. Anyone want to help me with what we're looking at? Well, let me help you, because I'm going to show you a video. There's a bunch of stuff and how it's all going to tie together here tonight. And at the end of the show, you're going to say everything that he's talking about is gospel truth. And quite literally from the Bible, which is the craziest thing. This is the kind of stuff that'll probably get me banned on YouTube. If it happens and I end up at Rumble, you'll know what happened. You can't talk about the dragon or Leviathan. So here, let me zoom in for you, and I'll illustrate what's happening here. And we're going to watch a video that will explain this, just as I have. I'm not the only person who sees this. Okay? So what we have right here is very clearly a gigantic serpent head, right? Don't tell me you don't see it. Don't come in here and say, I don't see what you're talking about. First of all, look. We have, across the nose here, active volcanoes. Okay? I know you're like, this is nuts, but too bad. I'm right. Just deal. Right here, I believe, actually, initially I thought this was an eye, right? It's a nostril. That's nostril 1. This is nostril 2, hidden under ice. Now, let me zoom out. What do you notice about the ocean floor right in here? What do you notice about the ocean floor right in this area? What do you see? You see tracks. What could produce tracks like that? Well, zoom in on the nostril. Air. Air could produce tracks like that. Okay? Now, you're asking me where the eye is. It's right there. Do you guys see that? It's covered by ice. Conveniently. This eye comes down at an angle. Okay? It's right... Let me zoom in. It's right there. Let me zoom out. And here's the thing. So the other side is going to be right in here. That's where the other eye is. We can't see because, again, covered in ice. So there is what I'm showing you now. If you were to go back along here, this would clearly be the neck, and then back in here would be like the wing and the body, okay? I know this is nuts. I get it. If you haven't ever seen this, you're like, I don't even know what to think. Get it. I get it. You don't need to explain that to me. Because if I were being shown this for the first time, I would say, holy shit, what? So it's natural. It's a very natural reaction. But, again, you wonder why I'm even considering this stuff that I never would have in the past. Remember, we all lived through 2020 and everything that was foisted upon us. And what turned out to be, I think all of us can agree, at a minimal level, a lot of lies. So, like in any relationship, right? Have you ever gone out with somebody and you find out that they were doing something behind your back, or a friend does you dirty? Once you realize that trust is gone, what happens? You start questioning everything, and you obviously do not trust them anymore. And you start to look closer at everything around you. And I started listening to more podcasts, listening to more voices, and really being open to the idea that we don't know everything. And that's essential to get where I'm asking you to go. Now, here's the thing, right? As I show you why I'm talking about this tonight, because it's not just I'm showing you this, I'm going to bring it in with other stuff that's occurring now with this location. As I talk about it, remember this, that this is the kind of thing that they don't want to discuss. You can talk about politics all day. You can talk about left versus right, talk about all that crap. It's a waste of time. It's a circus. This, however, is not part of that. But if we have a truly open society, which I don't think we do, but I don't really care, because I'm going to talk about what I believe to be true. That's how I'm built. What you're looking at changes everything. Everything you've been told, everything you learned in school, you have to break free of that. You have to loosen the shackles and go, okay, I'm with you. Let's do this. And once you do that, then you can go, okay, I get it. I see what you're saying. Now, a couple of people that were very influential on me even be able to get to this and see this. Roger over at Mud Fossil University. I would love to have him on a show one time and talk about all of his theories, and I would argue proof that the world is not what we've been told. Now, as I get ready to show you why I'm talking about this tonight, not just that it's here, and this is the Drake Passage, by the way, the most dangerous passage in the entire world to sail through right here. Now, I'm going to show a video here in a minute, something I just learned, that everyone thinks it's Sir Francis Drake it's named after, which they say it is. But the origins of the word Drake go back to Draco, which is dragon. Isn't that curious? So maybe it's not Sir Francis Drake. But again, I think we all know Hollywood shows us stuff, right? They show us reality often. And they put it in your face. Look no further than Godzilla, Pacific Rim, right? All of that. You say, no, that can't be real. Well, of course you don't think that could be real. Because you never told it was real, so you don't even look. But once you look and you realize there's something here, I think we can all agree. Even if you don't believe what I'm saying right now, you can't argue what I'm showing you makes sense. It's not like I'm looking at a cloud. Don't tell me it's that, what's that phenomenon where you look at a cloud and you're like, it looks like a, this is not a cloud. This is from Google Images, Google Earth, a satellite photo of this area. It's not a cloud. It's in the water. So don't use that argument with me. But what Roger from Mud Fossil will tell you that is crazy when you add all this stuff together and you get a composite of all this information, this is literally a neck. He said this has like vertebrae in here, like Antarctica. This is all like part of a skeleton. So it's not just about, hey, it looks like a head. If you start talking to all the things and putting all the pieces together, you go, oh my God. But here's another piece I want to bring in. Guess what's happening right there at the Drake Passage? A lot of earthquakes. over the past several months. 7.5, and this was, I believe, a 6. Look at those 2 stars. Do you see them on your screen? Those are right there. Earthquakes, a 7.5, and I believe it's 6.6. But look, it's right exactly what we're talking about. And here's the thing that's crazy as I go in and I look, another tweet here, that, look, this guy, Stefan Burns, he talks about Earth changes and stuff that's occurring right now, which I think we all know there's a lot of shit going on. You got that Atlas 3 comet thing coming, whatever that is. It's almost like misdirection. I really do. I feel like the real action's here. But look what he says. Even though that 7.5 earthquake in the Drake Passage took place near Antarctica, it was a global event as it relates to energy release and seismic wave propagation. And you can see how far away it was felt. Well, gee, what would make that happen? Do you see? And the thing is and everyone, the funny thing is I believe that they actually try to get all this other information like, oh, it's actually like the government doing stuff. Well, of course. Do you think they can... Oh, hold on. Can we just talk for a second? Can we be real for a minute, everybody? Can they tell you that there's a gigantic reptile in between Antarctica and Argentina? Hence the Drake Passage, the Dragon Passage. I don't think they can say that. But I don't think I can say it, but I just did. They can erase the video. I don't really care. Because... why can't we just have conversations about reality? Why do I have to live in some kind of bullshit world? I don't want to do that. I don't think you do either. But you've been told a bunch of stories over the years, haven't you? And you kind of believe those stories. Well, here's a different story tonight for you. But there's more. It's not, again, there was the 7.5, okay? There was just the other day. Look, here's another one. A monster quake hits Antarctica. 7.8. The same region. Tied to major tectonic shifts. Right along the neck. That's the neck. 7.8. You guys feeling me? Just tell me you're feeling me. Because it all fits together like a puzzle. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to expand upon this by... Listen, here's how it goes, right? Someone has an idea. Someone else builds on it. And we start putting together, like a detective, all of the pieces. Now, before I show you this video, I want to explain something that has to be understood here for you to accept what I'm even putting forth. For a creature to be as big as what I have shown you on Google Earth, to be this large, 1,000 kilometers across, 1,000 kilometers. This head would stretch from like Los Angeles to Texas, and that's just the head, okay? But here's the thing. For you to accept that, this is where you're going to have to go like, okay, let me take the wheel. Let Weber take the wheel for a minute. Remember, I always told you, they like to show us in film reality. I can't recommend The Village enough for this very fact. If you look at The Village, you were told throughout the entire film that you were in a certain time period. And then what happened by the end? I'm not going to give it away, but I'm going to say this. If you've seen The Village, you're going to understand what I'm saying. If you haven't, you need to watch it. I want you to think of where we live as the village. And I want you to think about what's actually out there as outside the village. Does that make sense to you? I'm not going to talk about flat, globe. We're not going to do that. I'm going to talk about a big sheet of graph paper, and you reside in one of the squares. Not all the squares. One. Maybe 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many squares, but not the entire sheet of graph paper. Does this make sense to you? I don't think anyone's ever been this, like, just straight up and be, I think, as... With the imagery, I hope you understand exactly what I'm saying. I think it should make sense to you. I don't think that's hard. Because I think one of the issues we have whenever we talk about this kind of crazy shit, people talk about it so scientifically and so big idea. I want to make it, dumb it down. So in other words, if what the world realm that we live in is only one piece of a gigantic area, then it makes sense that something this big could be there. Does that make sense now? Because it doesn't make sense otherwise. If you agree upon and believe in, and I'm not saying you shouldn't because I don't know the answer to this. I don't know the answer to any of this stuff. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense that something this large could live on this planet because it's too small. That's why I'm saying you need to blow that up so that you only think about the bigger picture of this being bigger than what we've been told. Then that will start to make sense. Because otherwise you'd be like, it doesn't even register because it's too large. You have to change everything. If you change one thing, you've changed everything, right? Sliding doors. Let's watch just a second. This video is really good because what's going to do is going to take you into the area where the volcanoes are across the snout. Let's watch a little of this. Now, listen, it's AI, I think, produced as far as the vocal. It's not great. The voiceover's not great. But I'm going to stop it and talk about why I think it makes sense. I'm going to turn off the music. And you know what? This is a great comment. I want to thank... There's the music. I want to just kill it for now. Here's the deal. Is maybe, Jacob. Leviathan versus Godzilla. But no, this is a good one. Dak and Black, welcome to the channel, by the way. You're exactly right. Remember Men in Black? Mission in Black. What happened in that film? At the end, remember? They show the Earth and it keeps getting further and further out and eventually ends up, if I'm not mistaken, I think the ending's on YouTube. But remind me, Dakin, it goes, or Dakin, whichever it is. It goes and it turns out to be the Earth is just a tiny little marble, right? In the giant sack of the huge creature. I think you need to think that way, right? You need to think that where we exist is so small in the grand picture of whatever this is that's outside of here that I think your mind wouldn't be able to handle it. I think that's a really good pictorial description and likeness to what we live in. I don't know exactly what, but it's funny how Men in Black, keep wanting to say mission, shows you that. Okay? Yeah, exactly. The aliens are playing jacks. Exactly. The aliens are playing jacks with Earth. Okay, let's watch a second of this. Now, I'm going to stop it. Listen, it's AI kind of thing, but just listen to it for a minute. And when it gets to the volcanoes, that's where I want you to pay attention.
How about this? The term Drake has its origins in the Old English word draka, meaning dragon or serpent.
See, that's what I just said, right? Again, Drake doesn't necessarily mean Sir Francis Drake. It means dragon, Draco, dragon. That's crazy. That's another piece of this.
Let that sink in for a moment. In medieval European folklore and heraldry, drakes were considered a distinct category of dragon, differentiated from the larger, winged dragons.
So listen to that. There's different types of dragons. I mean, listen, here's the question I have for you. So in every society across the planet, there are stories of dragons, right? The Welsh flag, correct? You look at China, obviously. So for a mythological beast, why does every culture write about them and have history of dragons, yet they never existed? Something to consider.
Is there any chance that Drake Passage is named after the serpent or dragon rather than Englishmen who never passed by this place? Also, they only discovered it in 16th century, but this place has been there before with civilizations aware of it long time before them. Let's zoom in and look into this place.
So look, they're going to zoom in. This is what I've not been able to do, so this video is really cool. Check it out.
This does look like head of some reptile, and in the nose part there are equally separated openings.
Equally separated openings, but they're not just openings.
It's hard to see exactly because Google has blurred this area around those islands.
Interesting, right? They've blurred the area.
People claim there are craters with a smoke that would indicate nostrils breathing smoke. Keep in mind the size of this place, it's over 600 miles, that's 1,000 kilometers.
So 600 miles across the nose. But look, evenly spaced out ventilation, essentially. But wait till we zoom in and you'll see exactly what they look like.
As you can see, these are equally spreader islands. Is this all coincidence? The shape is just so much resembling a reptile and nostrils.
I don't need that. That's like, okay, she's leading us. But watch, this is what's interesting.
First is Zavodovsky Island. It is uninhabited volcanic island.
Uninhabited volcanic island. Interesting.
Now this will shock you. Island consists of the active stratovolcano Mount Curry,
An active stratovolcano? That's weird.
which has a fumarolically active crater on the southwestern side. It's a crater with active volcano, which has erupted many times, last time in 2016.
Interesting. Just a few years ago.
It constantly lets the steam out that can be seen from above.
There's steam coming out all the time? Guys, this is so damning, is it not? Tell me I'm right. Just come in and say Weber's right again. We are the gold standard, whether we're doing movies or we're talking about Leviathan.
Island is part of UK.
Isn't that interesting? They want to own the island. I wonder why.
Next, it's Visokoi Island.
Okay, here's another one.
Again, is an uninhabited volcanic island.
That's 2 uninhabited volcanic islands.
It consists of one major stratovolcano, Mount Hodson, with few eruptions at the past. Candlemas Island is a small, uninhabited volcanic island.
Again, island number 3.
Lucifer Hill has numerous fumaroles.
Lucifer Hill. Oh my God, I didn't even know that was the name. Guys, this is like wild.
Emitting volcanic gases and may have produced lava flows as recently as the 20th century. There is always blurred out area outside the island view.
Look, blurred out.
Even photographs online focus mainly on the island. It doesn't show anything beyond them.
Yeah, look, see how it's all blurred out? Weird. Why aren't you showing me more? Why would they blur it? Can I ask you a question? Why do you blur a picture? I wonder.
Saunders Island is a crescent.
Stop. Just for a second. I know, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Do you think I would go forth with this show or me talk about this if I didn't believe that this shit fits together way too well? I mean, that's the thing. I understand it's nuts. I get it. I understand that you're sitting there going, this isn't making any sense to me. What the hell? You should have that reaction. That was my right. Now I just go, it's there. I just accept it.
Shaped volcanic island. All of those islands are British, by the way. Active stratovolcano Mount Michael, which has a lava lake in its summit crater, and
again, active stratovolcano.
Fumarolic.
Why are all these volcanoes weird? Guys, this is like case closed at this point. I didn't even see all of this. Come on. Make an argument that it's not. How about that? Come in and tell me I'm wrong. Good luck.
Activity indicating recent eruptions. Another active volcano island called Montague. It has steam emissions and lava flows. Next is Thule Island, has volcanic activity, with reports of steam from the crater lake and ash emissions.
Again, reports of steam, ventilating. By the way, I'm going to wrap this all together and explain it to you, because I know you're saying, why is there still smoke? Why is there volcanic ash? Also, great point, All Elite. Look at Antarctica. We can't go there. They say you can't go there. Only a little area. You can go here. We can't go down and explore. Frankly, I don't want to. I said, hey, Weber, do you want to go down to Cook Island? Hell no. I'm on top of an active volcano coming out of the snout of a dragon. Hell no, man. I want to be as far away from this son of a bitch when it comes back to wakes up. I don't want to be around there. That's the worst place to be.
Thule has been the subject of territorial disputes between the UK and Argentina due to its strategic location.
Strategic location. Oh, can we talk about the Falkland Islands War? Oh, you want to go there? Remember, why are we fighting for the Falkland Islands? What's right there? The Falkland Islands. That's why. You want to control this shit.
As you have seen, all these islands are active volcanoes.
I'm definitely losing my YouTube channel after this. I'll have to go to Rumble. Just enjoy. I'll be at Rumble at some point. It'll still be called Midnight Movie Talk. But at some point, they're not going to let me do this. It's just too much. I don't care. Like I care. What am I? Am I spreading lies? I'm just using the information that's right here. It's all in front of you. I'm using someone else's video. It's not even my video. I'm commenting on their video.
Craters of some sort. Could that be a huge creature in state of brumation?
Oh, thank you. Let me pause right there. They're going to talk about it. This is exactly what I wanted to talk about. Brumation. You're like, what's that? And I get it. I didn't know what it was either. Because when I started looking into this, I didn't grasp all of this shit. It was too much. But in little pieces, all these things started coming together. Do you know what brumation is? They're going to tell us. But let me just give you the short and long of it. It is hibernation for reptiles. If you have an iguana, a snake, when it gets cold outside, they go into brumation, hibernation. And they stay there because it's cold. Now, are you ready for Weber to say the most profound thing ever? I hope you are, because I'm going to. What do they talk about all the time? What are we pushed? What narrative have we been told over and over by the governments of the world? Oh, that's right. Global warming. Why would that matter? Now that you're seeing this, why would it matter, global warming, if what I'm showing you is real? Brumation. You don't want it getting warmer.
Reptiles find a spot in the water and allow the surface to freeze around them, leaving just their snout exposed to breathe.
By the way, I know those of you who are watching here tonight are like, good Lord. He wasn't kidding when he said he's going to blow my mind, and I'm not going to be able to dismiss it. That's the beauty of what we do here. I only speak truths. I don't have time to make stuff up. I have to explore it, look at it, and give you a verdict. And I'm giving you all the pieces here tonight.
Their metabolism slows drastically, with their heart rate dropping to only 3 beats per minute.
Okay. The heart rate drops, metabolism drops because it's cold. All reptiles.
This allows them to remain mostly motionless and conserve energy while submerged under the ice.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Mostly motionless, submerged under the ice. You guys know your minds are blown right now. Just a minute. Come in and just give me a comment. If you're on X, you need to go to YouTube to comment. Midnight Movie Talk. You'll find the stream. Just say mind blown. That's it. That's all I need in the comments. Just mind blown. And we're good.
As long as their nostrils remain exposed, they can survive for months in this dormant state. Taking into account the climate in that area, it makes one wonder.
Mel Fillmore, stop.
There are several myths and
legends
across different cultures that describe gigantic serpents or dragon-like creatures sleeping or dwelling in the depths of the oceans.
Look, these old maps. Remember all those? They have the weird sea serpents and shit.
The Zuni people of North America had myths about the sea god Kalawezi, which was likely a sea serpent creature. Jormungandr, also known as the Midgard serpent,
Look at that thing.
is a legendary sea serpent from Norse mythology.
From Norse mythology. Mythology, quote unquote.
Described as a massive snake that encircles the entire world and lives in the ocean.
Okay, a massive snake that encircles the entire world. Can we all agree, going back to the view, that if this is the head, then look, the tail would be like all the way around. It would be huge. Look, the head's here. So the tail, or if it's a dragon or a snake, whatever, it would go all the way around. Hence all this weird shit here. What is all this? Look at all that underground like a pincher. The hell is that? Right? I mean, clearly this is a stinger. I've shown you guys the other dragon, right? Here I will right now. This is, according to Roger at Mud Fossil. He found this. I could give him credit. Rogers, this is for you, buddy. This, look, now that I show you that, this is the whole West Coast. It's a giant raptor. Now, hold on. You're like, I don't see it. Let me zoom in. The head's here. Go back. The tail is here. That's the tail with the stinger. It's like a scorpion dinosaur thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But look, clearly, look. Okay. Now, we'll go back to the dragon down there and watch the video, but watch. Then in here is Mount St. Helens. This is Alaska, right? Mount St. Helens is right here. Guess what should be right here? This is like Mount St. Helens right in here. It's ass. Mount St. Helens is its ass, according to him. It's still like bubbling stuff up. So look, I go back and I can show you this is the head right here. Now, Okay, so this is the head. I think the claws come in here. Do you see this? These are claws. This is the claws. Do you see the claws? Look, look. Those are claws. I know it looks like a mountain to you, but it's claws. Okay. Now, hold on. Watch. Let me zoom out. I want to show you the eye. This is going to freak you out. You ready? You ready for the eye of, as Roger calls it, Scorpzilla? Right here. Do you not see that? It looks like a dinosaur eye. Do you? Just tell me you see that looks like a dinosaur eye. Let me zoom out one more time. Hold on. Ready? Zoom out. Now look, even around it's an eye, right? Like an eyelid and stuff. See that? The pupil's right there. So look, there's the eye, zooming in. The eye is literally right here. I kind of want to go up and check this place out. I heard you can't. What a surprise. You can't go in here. That would be like the pupil. And zoom out. Look at it. It's a fucking eye. And then go back out and you can see, it looks like a dinosaur, right? You feel like you're watching Jurassic World. When you go like this, and then you go like that, right? Look, eye, out, head, eye, head, eye, head, body, tail, raptor. Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you not see what I just said? Lens flare, you're such an asshole. We want to know until we capture a Bigfoot interrogated. That's fair. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Let's go down and get back to this story again. Let's get back to our friend, the gigantic one, because the one here in California is not big enough. Just a little bit more on this video. It's like 10 minutes. We'll go a little longer.
Reptile.
Oh, here we go.
It would need to become hot enough for the ice to melt and waters to become...
Okay. What are the... I didn't even watch this part of it. They just said, what would it take for a reptile to wake up? It need to become hot enough for the melting.
Become warmer already. And to add this up, this activity on so-called Bouvet Island is right next to the Drake Passage. Let's have a look.
Exactly, Jason.
There is recorded unusual activity around the island since February this year with some sort of radiation beaming from the island.
Look, radiation beaming from the island. I didn't even know this part. This is all new to me, too.
Some claimed that this can cause waters to warm up too much and cause weather changes and hurricanes. The warming up factor, however, is the one that we are looking for. Our Patreon members will already know what we are talking about.
I'm not going to do a Patreon.
If you pay attention to the location of this island being south below African continent, right next to the Drake Passage.
Let's look for that. Hold on. It's right near there. Okay, let's go here. South Africa. Go back around. Hold on. I zoom out. That's South Africa's over here. Well, I guess, yeah, technically, look. They're talking about right here. So this is warming up right here. But again, I want to point out something here. Remember, if it's in a state of brumation, this is hence we have the air. Look, it's breathing. That's why you have the tracks coming out of the nostril and out of the front. Again, look, you have tracks coming out that would force that air out. That's what those are. That's my discovery. I want credit for that. Someone also mentioned, did the head move? Because look, all this is like a space. It almost like moved to the left. If it's not totally asleep, if it's not dead, then its head could have moved. I saw a Nat Geo special and the waves are so strong down there the ships hate the Drake Passage. Wonder why? It's probably got a little bit. If it's moving a little bit, then the waves would be insane if this thing's moving around, how big it is. Remember, 7.8 earthquake down there. That's why I'm doing tonight's stream, because the earthquakes that are happening down there. Okay, let's go to the next piece.
On go. Now, let's talk about it. Godzilla ain't got shit on this. This reptile that could potentially be inside of the ocean that big, let me show you what I believe it is.
Okay, here we go.
I think it's warming up, and this is waking up. What in the absolute?
It's from TikTok.
Watch this. Look at this.
Exactly. He sees it. How can you not?
That?
Of course we can.
It has scales.
Yep, scales.
It
Yep.
has knocked its way through South America
He's
and
right.
Antarctica.
Yep.
And it has scales.
It does have scales,
Look at
100%.
this
Would you agree that has scales? Would you 100% agree there's scales? I would. Again, back to the picture here. That's the saying right here, scales. 100%. 100% I'm with you, dude. I don't know who you are, TikToker guy, but you're right.
And pull this up, people.
We already did.
Please go and pull this up so that you know that I am not going. Look at this. And I want you to see what area it's in. The same anomaly. Look where it's headed. Look. Off the coast of Africa. This is where we seen that anomaly at. All the way up the coast of Africa. And they told you it was the size of South America. Look at it.
Well, remember they had that anomaly. He's right. They had a giant anomaly from down there that went up. Remember?
It is the size of South America. What in the absolute is in our ocean, people? Do y'all not see that? Those are scales, people. That is undeniable. Listen,
I mean, he's kind of right. That's what I'm saying, dude. You can't argue that that's what that looks like. It very much. And again, not a cloud. We're not looking at clouds here.
Look at that eye. Look at the
No, he's wrong. He doesn't have the eye right.
The front, people.
The eye's further back.
This is in our ocean right now as we speak. There is a 5.4 earthquake that just happened on the head of that serpent.
Okay, so this is going back a year, and it's got earthquakes.
And I'm about to prove to you that this dragon is waking up. Not only is it waking up, this dragon is the size of multiple continents. This is where the serpent, Drake's Passage, or Dragon's Passage, is located, right there.
Uh-huh.
And if you look
You
right
just
here,
said it, Dragon's
see,
Passage.
this is where the Ring of Fire starts, right at the neck of this thing, all right? And it comes up here, and I told you guys, these are wings. Look at that. South America is a wing. But if you follow this line, this bloodline right here, I believe is a vein, a major vein. That is, if you see it goes around there, it's following the same line
Ring of Fire
here as the Ring of Fire. All right? Now watch it. It's going to continue to go. Goes all the way around. All right? You can still see that line. You can watch it go up here. It goes up North America. All right? That same line is right there. It's going to come around. And this is where that you can see North America only has little spots. That line is not that dark there. The darker the line. So this is San Andreas Fault also running along there.
San Andreas Fault.
To darken again, all right? Where it starts to darken in that loop. You see that? Those are going to be more active places. You see over here in that loop, things are more active.
100%. Ring of Fire. All that goes straight up.
Dragon was seen on top of Empire State Building, one of the most dangerous waters imaginable.
Here we go. This is Drake Passage.
There is a say that passing through it is like escaping from the mouth of dragon.
Look.
You cannot make this up.
Well, no wonder I wouldn't want to go through there either. It's a Dragon Passage. I think that's a hard pass for me. I'm not getting on that boat. We're not doing the George Clooney movie. What was that? Remember that?
Dragon Wex project is Drake Passage Southern Ocean wave experiment run by university in the UK.
Oh, interesting. Dragon Wex, the Drake Passage and Southern Ocean wave experiment. Why is it called Dragon Wex?
Satellites, radiosondes, and radars to directly measure the waves over the Southern Ocean and Drake Passage near 60s. The reference to the dragon with the name Dragon Wex. Again, where does this all come from? But let's not forget the sea monster legends from the Drake Passage. There are tales of krakens, gigantic octopuses capable of devouring entire ships, described as suddenly...
Okay, I'll pause there because this is now getting into other stuff. But, right, this guy's great. I don't know who he is. Let me know who he is if you know. But he sees it too, and he was doing it before me. But it's interesting because, again, when you just look, you just can't miss it. It's right there. And listen, I'm going another minute or two. I'm fucking exhausted, to be honest with you. I know, I get it. What I'm talking about is going to mess you up if you accept it or you even sort of believe in it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you can't tell me. Exactly. Let's not release this Kraken. You can't tell me that what I'm showing you doesn't have validity. You can't just dismiss it out of hand. Nope, you're wrong. That's not an argument. That's not an argument. You tell me why it's not. And the problem is when I throw in Roger from Mud Fossil and he starts talking about this being vertebrae in the neck going all the way back in Antarctica and we can't go to Antarctica, it all just makes sense. You throw it in with global warming, right? You put all the pieces together and it makes sense when you look at it from that angle of everything I presented versus, right? They tell you some of the story, they just can't tell you the whole story. But at this point, I think we all know the world's going to hell. So at this point, they might as well just say, hey, by the way, this is our real reason for global warming. I mean, okay, let's not. I don't think it would go over that well. For me, I'm at just the point where maybe it's just because I'm getting older. I don't really give a shit. But I just want to deal with truth. I don't want to deal with bullshit. Hold on. I just lost my mic, my headphones. I can hear myself better. I like to hear myself talk. Can you imagine that? But I'll do as many comments as possible. I'm out of here. Nessie would be thinking, believe in me now. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know the answer. I'm just here to tell you that everything I presented here tonight, I think is fair. I think it's fair. I don't think it's Jeffrey, thanks for watching, by the way. Those are plates. Yeah, like a plate on a dragon scale. I mean, I assume, but yeah, you can see it there, right? Look at all that in there. See it? And again, back here to the front. Nostril, eye. Eye's right there. Eye is right there. Okay. That's the nostril here. Watch. Nostril. I used to think that's the eye. Nostril, eye. It makes sense, right? Look, and then you got symmetry on both sides. You just can't see it because there's ice. This is all like iced up and stuff, and actually blurred. Looks like Google blurred this. Because if you see both sides, then you definitely see. But look, you just can do it with your head. You know, you can just put the other half of the puzzle together. You see most of it. You got the scales. You got the eye here, and you got the eye on the other side. You got the nostril covered up by this island here, the Sandwich Islands. And then you have the active volcanoes across the front. And then you got the air coming out the nose. It is what it is, man. It's not that I want this to be true. I just think at my state in my life, I just don't want to talk about bullshit. Which we just did in the first hour doing MMT. You're talking about stuff that doesn't matter. You know, is one battle left wing? It's interesting. It's a conversation, but this is a little bit bigger when you say, not just certainly physically, but I just think most people just don't want to even have these discussions. They just want to live life very obliviously. They don't want to consider different ideas and things that might change their worldview. They just want to go ahead and live blissfully unaware and not give much thought to anything. Versus always asking, what's the reason for this and this and this? And maybe there's a bigger picture here. Let me look here. Let me flip some rocks over and look underneath. Like when I was a kid, we would go walking through Rocky Fork Creek in Gahanna, Ohio. And my buddy and I would flip over rocks to look for crawdads. And they'd be under the rock. You'd flip the rock over and they'd try to go and you'd grab them. And you'd go, I got a crawdad. We had like a whole bucket full. Where the crawdads sing. In the bucket. And you had to flip over some rocks. And we just flipped over a really, really big rock. Yeah, I know. It's just, I like that. MMTGF. Yeah, because I haven't done one of these in a while. And then I saw the earthquakes, and I go, this is a perfect time to do an entire stream talking about this, because you've got, again, going back to this 7.8 earthquake right there in the Drake Passage. 7.5, 7.8, 6.6, all right there. All of these earthquakes in the Drake Passage. See, you just keep adding more and more information on top. And then eventually you get to, give me 1 second, let me hit this. I'm gonna show you one more thing. In fact, I'm just gonna Google, actually, I'll X search Drake Passage earthquake, and you can see there's a whole bunch here. Let me hit this. Okay. Here's a whole bunch right here. That we already did that 175. Another one 7.6. And look, you can see right here, right? Look. There it is. Look at the earthquake. First of all, he's got two. He's got one at the neck and one at the nose. The earthquakes are literally right on top of this thing. What a surprise. We're living a movie. You guys know that, right? We are 100% living some kind of crazy fucking movie right now. I know you guys are kind of aware because everything's getting nuts, right? We all agree. Everything's getting kind of crazy. So why do you think that is? I can tell you why. Because they're aware. You don't think the powers that be know this shit? They would watch this and go, oh my God, why does this guy know this? Seriously. If someone in the CIA or whatever, they'd be like, this guy knows too much. But here's the thing, though. CIA, FBI, everybody. Let me explain something to you. I'm just talking about what's there. What do you want me to do? Lie? Say I don't see it? That's not how I'm built, man. But yeah, you can see, look here, here's a video of a tsunami. I feel like I'm watching a Godzilla movie. There's the sirens for the tsunami when this thing hit 7.4. There it is. And you can see it, tsunami threat because of one of these earthquakes. There's a 6.6. 728. Hold on. 82. When's this one? August 21st. Hold on, look. 83. Right there at the head again. Look where it's located. It's right there at the head. All of this activity right there. Again, there it is, 6-6. All the videos of all the shit going on. But you go back, hey, listen, go right ahead. Oh, here, okay, wait, hold on for a second. Here's somebody.
They stick their nose out of the water to make sure that they can still breathe in the frozen water. As you can see, people, this is what reptiles do whenever it's frozen.
Yeah, he's right. Hold on, we gotta watch this for a minute.
And as you can see right here at the bottom of Argentina and the top of Antarctica, we have what appears to be a large serpent right there. Can you see it, people?
Okay, so he's right? The crocodiles stick their nose above the water.
Right there. You probably think...
Okay, we saw him already. Hold on, let's see if I missed it. But he's 100... Here, hold on. Oh, this is good. I don't think we saw this part.
That is down, and this is inside of that. This smoke is coming out of those holes right there and coming up here, people. I believe this is part of the nose on this damn dragon. This is absolutely crazy.
We talk about the volcanic islands. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, Pilgrim. I honestly don't know. I just know that if this thing is coming back to life, coming out of Brumation, we got more problems than you ever imagined. I mean, biblical shit. By the way, I forgot to mention this. There's a lot of stuff. I think I had it somewhere, one of the tweets. I don't know if I have it in front of me right now, but that Leviathan is mentioned in the Bible like a bunch of times, not once or twice. Okay. So it's in the Bible. And whether you're religious or not, I mean, the Bible's recognized, certainly, I think, by virtually every scholar as at least having some shred of truth to it. And interesting, they mentioned Leviathan multiple times. So there we go. We'll do another MMT Gets Freaky down the road. I mean, there's also the planet spinning around out there in Larsen Bay. We talked about that. That's a whole nother thing. But I just wanted to focus on this. But I think the thing that got me really into this tonight was just the volcanoes and the seismic activity. We're having earthquakes right there. Why are we having earthquakes right on top of this thing? That doesn't make sense. I just know they mentioned Leviathan. I just don't know about giant lizards. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not a Bible scholar. Have I read some of the Bible? Yes, but I'm not a Bible scholar. I can't start quoting you scripture. But I know that there was something I can find another time. But there's like 8 different instances of the Leviathan in the Bible. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Jacob, I don't know. I don't know the answers. It's Sunday night. It's late. It's almost 10 o'clock here. I'm going to get ready for bed. But it was fun. Just wanted to show it to you and just say, hey, hey, all I ever ask, the reason I do these things a lot of times is just to have anybody else pick it up and run with the ball. That's all we're doing. We're trying to get other people to go, holy shit, look. And you know what? The funny thing is you guys know, and Film Twitter comes after me and says Weber's this and that. I'd love to have him refute this. Go for it. Watch the entire stream and tell me where I'm wrong. You can't. That's the problem, right? That's the issue. You can say what he's saying is bullshit. That's not a reply. That's not a refute of what I just presented as a case. Okay? All you can say to everything I just showed tonight is it's coincidental. It's coincidental, right? That's typical bullshit argument. Oh, it's coincidental. Well, there's a lot of coincidences. I mean, think about it. All of the stuff I've laid out, for all of these, quote, coincidences to happen in one spot, in this exact thing, no chance. The chances are 0.0000001% that it's not. All of this comes together. When you're looking at any situation, you're looking for as much information and build, right? Like a Lego set. Here's brick 1. This is why I've been doing 2 hours and I'm done. You build your bricks and then you have your thing. And this is exactly what we did. We built all these bricks and you're like, here it is. Jason, no, you know what the funny thing is? I'll say this. I know Fred Rogan's talked about I keep saying Fred Rogan. Listen, guys, you understand. I live in L.A. Fred Rogan's the local sports guy. So if I say Fred Rogan, I mean Joe Rogan. But, whatever. Fred Rogan's a legend here in Los Angeles. But you hear him talk about that, he can't do this show. He can't have me on. They won't allow this. They'll allow me just Yahoo, do MMT, stuff. There's videos on Leviathan. I'm not the only one who's done videos on this on YouTube. And certainly TikTok, Instagram. I'm not the only person who's done this. I'm not saying I am. It's not groundbreaking. I'm just laying all of these things together, putting all the pieces together in a different way so that maybe someone else can run with it. But I could never be on Rogan. I could show him all this and talk about all this, and he'd be like, we can't run this. Because remember, when you're that big, you have to answer to the higher powers, and the higher powers will not allow this. They'll allow me to do it because I don't have, the audience is small. They don't give a shit. He's just a guy shooting his shit in Los Angeles. He doesn't care. But if you have an audience like Joe Rogan and you talk about this, it's a problem. Real problem. So audience size matters. And I think that's one of the fun things about doing the show I do, whether it's MMT regular or MMT Gets Freaky or whatever we do. It's a niche thing. It's fine. I don't care. When I started this channel years ago, I never started it to be popular. It didn't. Never have. It doesn't really interest me. In a weird way, I think I said this before when I talked about when I was a pro wrestling fan way back when I was a kid. The guys I liked in pro wrestling were the guys that were like third from the main event, fourth. They weren't the main guys. They were still somebody, but they weren't like the main Hulk Hogan. They were like a new guy that just showed up from the NWA to the WWF. I've always been interested in kind of like the not so obvious thing. And I feel like that's what this channel is. So in a weird way, it's like prophecy fulfilled. It's a strange little niche thing. It's exactly what I am. By the way, I want to love. I just got this kit. This kit is so perfect for this channel. This is Juarez out of Liga MX. And this is like, look, it's got a black X across this. And it's got the green accents. It's got tons of sponsors. A brand new kit to the MMT collection. And hopefully you enjoy that as well, because it's not just like, look, he has on a picture of a dragon, a t-shirt. That's fine. I could do that. But I try to incorporate the football kits, soccer jerseys, with this stuff. It's, just give me a little love for trying. That's all I want to. I want some love for effort. Even though, can I just say, is get ready to like, I don't put a lot of effort into this. I just come on and just start talking. If you watched the earlier show, you know it. Just all of a sudden just go on random rants. It's like, who cares? It's my channel. Do what I want. And Jacob, good. That's all I want you to do, is at least want to believe. Because if you are in a space where you don't and you can't get yourself to at least maybe, come on, man, try it. Try to get to that place where you're like, maybe, oh my God, what if? And then here's the reality, too. If you believe everything I just said, and even if I believe it, I'm going to sleep well tonight, because here's the reality. If this is happening like the facts are presenting, it's not going to matter anything. Think about it. What matters if what I'm talking about actually is real? Nothing. That's the thing. In a way, it's very freeing, because you start to look at everything that matters that you think is this big deal as going, no, this is a little bigger. I think I need to just chill. And in a weird way, it frees you. So I can say that I want to thank 2020 and beyond for waking me up. And you're hearing people that are saying they're waking up. I definitely woke up. I was asleep. I think we all were. But once you woke up and you realized what the hell is happening, then you're able to kind of operate in a different space. I'm not the same person I was before. In 2019, I'm not the same person I was that I am now because of that. I strongly believe, as we close, that everything in your life is there for a reason. You build on it. You grow from it. You learn from it. The worst things, whatever it may be, you learn from it. And you try to be better. You're not always going to be, but you keep fighting. And you never give up. And you always ask, what if? That's my recommendation as we leave here tonight. Thanks for being here on the Sunday. A pleasure as always. We'll see you back here this week. I'm not sure exactly when for the regular show. I'm either going to see Springsteen tomorrow, the Bradley Cooper flick Tuesday, Thursday, I think is Begonia. It's a busy week. I just don't know how many movies I actually want to watch. So just get the alerts. Go to Midnight Movie Talk on YouTube. Subscribe. Like if you'd like. I'm cool with that. And then you'll get the alerts when we're on live. But we're not going to do MMT Gets Freaky all the time. It's just like a one kind of special. Remember like in the old days when it was Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin, whatever the hell that Halloween special was, Peanuts. It's like the special thing came out when they had the CBS and it kind of went around in the kaleidoscope. That's what this was tonight. I could actually play that. But I will keep, thank you, Sid. Appreciate it. I will do my best. We'll keep doing some of these, but this is, I think everything in here is really good. I really do. I think this is it's a great introduction to holy shit. That's what we want to do. Enjoy your week. I'll see you back here when we're back live. Thanks for being here on this Sunday. I'm going to bed. Good night, live from LA. The show is over.